Hey guys, what's going on? Um, it's 8:31, 2018. Time I think is 11:25. My brain is starting to zzz again. I'm starting to feel a lot of tension. I don't know if you heard it, but a lot of pops. Um, so when I'm gone for a while and I come back, it's just like it's a whole different world to me. So, anyways, I think I posted a video about my experience that I had a few days ago with the cardiologist clinic hospital at the UHS. How they didn't really want to listen to what I said, anything that I had to say, and they called the cops. And even the cops were like, you know, they thought what happened was really screwed up, and they told me to go to public relations. So I called the I think yesterday I called like one of the nurse people, and they said that I should go to the hospital. Um, and I was going to go to the hospital today anyway, and my doctor's office called, and they thought that because I was trying to see if I could come in because I left a message, and they said to go to one of the Express Med Clinic places. Um, I had to get up. When I was getting up and I was doing all this stuff, I get the call, but I was already going to figure something out. I had to go to the bus place because I had to renew my card. Um, it expired. It's the card to actually get the bus cards. So I went down there and I was feeling really kind of screwed up today. Actually, I wasn't able to really get to. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Um, actually, I did. I had some issues today. Like I don't really remember right now. I also had malaise. I don't know if I started to get malaise last night, but I definitely had it today. I was trying to like sleep earlier, and I was just having a hard time sleeping. I kept feeling my chest, kind of like little palpitations or something here and there. I was like, dude, I gotta go to the freaking doctors or something. But I went down there. I went downtown, and then I took the other bus and went over there and did what I needed to do, and asked for directions, and got to the one of the clinics. The I ain't scared. I went to the Brady Robert B. Green Clinic or something. It's the one downtown UHS. Um, I went over there. It took a while. In fact, I remember I got off a little too early. I was like, damn it, I didn't realize. Damn it. So that was probably like a 5 minute walk, but I was definitely having issues, especially when I was trying to cross the road. I was kind of having like, little hiccups. Maybe that's kind of what it feels like, kind of like hiccups, sort of like with my breathing or something. I don't, not like, not like hiccups, but like hiccups with my heart. I don't know. Maybe that's like palpitation. I don't know. But I went over there. I went inside. I was kind of feeling really screwed up. I was like, "Hi, I'm really. I don't see. I don't remember what happened. I feel like I can't remember. Like my brain. I remember I went in there. I told him that I I don't know if I'm having a heart attack or palpitations or what, but I talked to my doctors and they said that I needed to come to one of these clinics. And I told them that a couple days ago my heart was like boom and whatever, and they told me to go sit down after. Well, I don't got it on me now. I took it off. My other one, I got like two of these things now, but my brace thing, and then I was just sitting there. I wasn't, yeah, because the time I came in, I was like in real malaise. Actually, I think I went to the bathroom for a little bit, or something happened. I think I just took a leak or whatever, and then I was in malaise. I was like, yeah, I'm having like malaise because I took my blood sugar too. See, I don't remember how I did that, but I remember I took my blood sugar. Maybe it was here. Yeah, maybe it was here, and it was like 131. Well, maybe it was downtown. Maybe I don't remember. Oh, ah, digestive issues. Um, yeah. So basically, I sit and I think I got there. I think it was probably around three something. I don't remember. Maybe it was around three something. I don't know, but I was there for a while, and I was telling them like, hey, look, I'm having chest pain, um, and right out the bat, every place I go, they're supposed to, they're supposed to check to see if you're actually having a heart attack. They're supposed to do an EKG, right? Um, and I was like, I was not in good shape, dude. Like, I mean, I wasn't crying like a little girl. I wasn't crying, but like, I felt like I was gonna pass out, dude. It was bad. Um, and I went up and I talked to somebody, and they said, the nurse hasn't took your blood pressure. I was like, the blood pressure? You can't tell if a person's having a heart attack by blood pressure. I really love the people that argue with you. It's like you can't detect a fucking heart attack, dude. Doesn't work that way. I mean, just because your shit's high doesn't mean shit. That could be a lot of different things. But anyways, somebody, the guy asked a nurse. It was a male nurse, the one that I was dealing with. I think his name was Groffery or something. Um, I swear I've seen him before, and he looked at me and he's like, hold on, it'll be okay or whatever. I was like, motherfucker, I'm having heart issues, bro, and you're telling me to hold on, and then it took about 40 more minutes or whatever. And then they brought me in the back. Some lady, some young lady, brought me to the back. She wasn't really that attractive, but I don't really care about the looks. I wasn't there for the looks, dude. Um, and then I was telling her what was going on. I told her she weighed me, and I think it was like 80 kilograms or something, 81 kilograms. I'm still losing weight, by the way. Um, and then I remember I sit down. She went to take my blood pressure, and I was mentioning about the EKG and all that, and I noticed it was one of those fancy ones, and I was telling them about the sound. Well, I don't know if it was the sound first, but they uh, they hooked me up to the blood pressure cuff because they were gonna do the right one. I was like, no, medical school, dude, you're supposed to do the left one. So that's how it's supposed to be in general. They did the left one, and then they put the ox thing, and I heard that sound. I was like, no, no, I like, can you turn that off? Like, sir, we can't turn that. I'm like, dude, you could turn that off. They're like, well, I just pushed that button. Bitch, you probably, I didn't say that, but bitch, you probably, like, like, and that's when I told her, I was like, you can't detect a heart attack, from blood pressure. It's like, oh, well, that's not true, because, a lot of times when a person has a heart attack, their blood pressures and pulse is up. Okay, well, fuck, palpitations, supraventricular tachycardia can do that, and whatever else. I didn't say any of that. I was just like, oh Lord, Lordy. I mean, like, I don't exactly remember what I said. I didn't say anything like offensive or anything. Um, and I was like, can you like, yeah, like, she's like, well, we can stop the blood pressure and blah 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 blah. It's like, no. So she was like, it was pumping up, and she put the OT, the light thing, ET phone home on this finger, my right finger, and then she put the freaking the thermometer, and at that point, dude, like, I'm already fucking freaking out with the freaking whatever's going on, and then the anxiety, and then the freaking the bells and whistles, and I'm like, dude, I couldn't do it. Like, I felt my blood pressure or my pulse or whatever going up. Like, it was not cool, dude. I was like, dude, I can't do this, man. I took it. I was like, I can't do this, you know. And then she went and got somebody else, and the guy was like, and I tried to explain to him. He's like, almost like, you know, you know, hold on, I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. Groffrey. I don't exactly remember if he said those words, but he was like in that kind of action. I'm like, look, dude. Usually people do an EKG, right? I don't mind the blood pressure. I just can't. I can't hear that sound, dude. It gives me fucking. I didn't cuss, but it gives me anxiety. And they're like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Blah blah blah. I was like, hey, something needs to be done, dude. Like, I don't know if I'm having a heart attack or something. Like, something needs to be done. And he's like, well, that's why we're trying to take your blood pressure. I'm like, oh my goodness, dude. And I was like, you know what? Do I need to call the ADA or something? Because I am disabled. And he was like, okay, good. If you want to, go ahead. And I was like, yeah, something needs to be done, dude. I'm having these issues. Um, and then he told me to go wait in the thing. And next thing I know, Groffrey wanted to be a little bitch or whatever. He got on the phone and started to talk to people. I was like, what the hell is this? What is this guy doing? It's like, oh, I know what the guy's doing because this just happened to me a couple days ago. Called the cops on me. And everybody's looking at me like, crazy, like I'm a criminal or something. It's like, yeah, I think he said that I refused to leave or whatever. I never refused to leave. I never, dude, I came down on the completely different side of town to come to this place. The only reason I came to that place is because I had business, you know, downtown. So, um, yeah. And then the cops came in. And I was like, oh shit. And then I saw the cop. I was like, ah. And he looked at me, and I was like, hey. I waved because I went live on this too. And he saw me. He looked back. He was like, hey. And then we went and talked. And he was like, you want to stay out here and blah blah blah. I was like, or you want to go back there? I was like, hey, we could stay here, dude. And he's like, yeah, let's go back there. And I had it like this. I didn't record him. I mean, he's a cool cat. And then we were talking, and then the guy was listening to me, and I told everything that what happened. I was like, look, and the guy was trying to say that I was like doing this and doing that, and I was like, no, I wasn't, dude. Saying that I was like refusing blood pressure readings, or you know what? And even if I refused blood pressure readings, I can do that. That's a right of a patient. Bitch, that's where it's noted. You note it. I can do that if I wanted to. If I don't want a drug, you can't give me a drug. I have that right. I mean, unless I'm like really screwed up and people want to like, I don't know what that word that code name is, but when people are just freaking lunatics and they got to be sedated. Um, but yeah, and we talked, and I was like, you see, like, dude, I didn't say anything bad, bro. I wasn't cussing. I wasn't doing nothing. I was just like, bro, either I'm having a heart attack or whatever. And I told him that the cardiologist a couple days ago didn't do crap. And it's funny because later on that day, when I was still there, I got a call, automated call for the service, and I gave her bad service, dude, across the board. Um, but yeah, and then I was there until like almost 8 o'clock, at least seven something. Um, and then finally, yeah, and they put me in the back of a room, a cold room, by the way. No sheets, no nothing. It was, I don't know how cold it was, but I started to get like clammy and sweaty and freezing. It was like a green sheet bedding thing. Like I didn't have a blanket or anything. But I laid down. They told me to undo my shirt. They put the things on me and took my EKG, and they said at that time it was fine. I was like, okay, and then I waited for hours later, and then around 7:30 or 8, whatever, they, uh, a nice practitioner lady. I don't know what her ethnicity was. She wasn't white, but she was real nice. I think it was fucked up what they did because when you start going to doctors and clinics and hospitals and shit long enough, you start getting certain things. I was like, you know what? If I've been in there that long and I've waited that long, I'm probably not gonna get anything. Just like when I was over at the Baptist hospital one time, um, I didn't get like anything for like I don't think I got any blood test for like 4 hours, dude. And I don't remember what was wrong with me. I remember that I had severe fatigue, like just out of the blue. I was like really fatigued. The only thing they did was prescribe me, like literally, they gave me a script for vitamins and minerals, and like a dumbass, I went to the pharmacist, and they're like, yeah, we don't do that, you know. You can just go over the pharmacy and just, you know, blah blah wolf wolf. The counter OTCs. I was like, huh. But yeah, I kind of get, well, I don't know, I still get the fatigue here and there, especially if I do like types of exercises. But yeah, she came in and said that, you know, that because it's an urgent place, and I just had labs a couple days ago. And she's like, "Oh, those don't change that much." And I made a remark. I was like, "Well, yeah, they can, you know, especially if you got sepsis. I mean, my stuff really changed. Like they, you know, one of the hospitals here in San Antonio, they admitted me just like that. Like that's why I'm so surprised. Like with all the visits I've been to, with all the hospitals, like they admitted me like fucking like, you know, like crazy, dude. So it must have been bad. But I mean, there could be a lot of reasons I'm having these palpitations if they are. I don't know. Uh, I just know this happened on the 29th. It's the 31st now, and I'm still afraid that this is going to come back. Like, I get these little minor ones, but that one was like literally, like, it's like literally getting punched in your chest. Literally. Like, my heart hurt that much. It hurt for like 5 seconds and then went away. But the after effects, I wasn't feeling good, and I get really fatigued, really tired. So, what happened? So yeah, she was like, you should go to the hospital, you know, because we're a small clinic, you know, because we're just, you know, Express Med. We don't do um, the thingamajigger things, the heart enzymes, and apparently they go down probably within a few days too. So I don't know. Which is weird because, dude, as long as I was there, like I was there for hours, bro. Like they could have done that, and they could have done blood tests. I mean, hell, my last labs weren't that. They were kind of a little out there, especially with my hematocrit. You know, being 52, I think. I don't know. Yeah, 52. I feel like my heart's gonna freaking jump, dude. And I think what it is, I think it's my digestion. I think it's all the bile, you know, because I just had a cold too. You know, maybe it's just like stuff lingering and it's just affecting my heart. I know earlier a few times I was having chest pains, like burning, like a slapping feeling. So that might be what it is. Um, Dude, I'm literally feeling like I'm gonna have that. I'm serious. I mean, shit. It could be. I'm like, dude, my potassium was 3.5. Potassium 3.6 to 5.2 or 5 or whatever. I'm feeling heavy too. But yeah, and then they said to go, and then the other person came in, almost like, you know, she thought I was gonna cause a problem or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, you know, it is what it is. And I took off, and then I got the bus, and you know, went to the park for a tad, just to wait for the bus, and ran into someone for a while, and eventually well, the guy he's the one that did the EKG, and I talked to him, you know, here and there. I was like, dude, you look familiar. Like, I swear. Like, and he's like, have you been like in behavior, whatever? I was like, I don't know. I may have been once at the UHS, but that was like for, I don't know if that was him or not. Because I didn't know what was wrong with me. Like, I wasn't, you know, and they just, I couldn't stay. I had to like, you know what? I'm not gonna harm myself. Blah 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 blah. And uh, basically, it was you could wait and be seen, or you could say that you feel like you're gonna kill yourself or whatever, and they automatically you have to have like a cop um, say if you're legit to walk. Uh, but that was a bad time, dude, because I was having hardcore headaches, and That's one of the times that I had a breakdown, and nobody seemed to care. They were just like, "Oh, you got depression," you know, and left it at that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get out of this thing. And they weren't giving me like they weren't giving me Tylenol for shit, dude. I can feel my chest, man. I can. It feels like it could populate. Populate, right? Populate. Pulsate. I feel it though. But yeah, we talked for a little bit. And then, like, when I was about to leave, they were talking about, he may have to go to the hospital or whatever. So I think at the end of the day, they had some sympathy for me. For the most part, I guess. I don't know. I just think, you know, you called the cops on me because why? Because I told you that I didn't want to listen to something that you could have turned off. Or they could have got an oximeter. Bro, I was just at a hospital clinic a couple days ago, like I said. Theirs was a lot fancier. I was like, I want one of these, dude. Theirs was theirs was a lot fancier. But most nurses have one of these. This makes no sound. And it might just be as accurate. I mean, maybe they just put it in the system. I don't know. But I'm going to flip this around. You see this? Well, that's bad. You can't really see it, but it says 96, 97, 96, I guess. My pulse at the present moment is 92. You hear that sound? Can't really see it. I know I can't. Yeah, like that. See what I'm talking about? No sound. They could have accommodated me, but they didn't want to. They like to play these little mind games. If you say you want something, they're going to make sure not to do it. They could have done a lot of things. You know what? It could have been dehydration. It could have been because I just had a fucking cold, dude. A virus, the rhinovirus. I was sick for a while. It could have been 1,000 reasons. But, I mean, twice. And then to top it off, before I left, I was looking at my emails from another group for cardiologists, and they talk some major shit. They're like, well, this is a very long, letter message for, this portal and all this other stuff, and get all huffy and puffy, and this person saying that he's not gonna order this. Originally he wanted to order a CT angiogram, but you don't want one because of radiation issues or whatever. I'm like, yeah, exactly. And I don't want an angiogram because I probably will have a heart attack just from the anxiety. And they're like, oh, well, he's not going to order an MRI. I never said anything about an MRI. Originally, I was asking, and then everybody was like, no, that's not really reliable. So I mentioned an MRA, and they, yeah, nobody ever got back to me. Like, for over a year, I've been trying to get this cocksucker to listen to me. Like, hey, look, and he won't even listen to me. Like, I try to talk to the guy, and, nothing. Like, I also mentioned, I think it said something about getting a second opinion. Okay, first of all, motherfucker, what was it? Like, a few weeks ago, somebody called me about something, or something, I don't know. Or maybe I called them, and they said that they were going to get back to me because they didn't believe. Yeah, because they didn't believe What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Because it said something about Robert B. Green Clinic, the same place I was at. Okay, they're not UHS. What are they trying to do? I can't see it right now. I don't know what it says, but I'm just trying to go off of my bad memory. But it was talking about getting a second opinion or whatever. Okay, nobody said a second opinion. He wanted me to get another physician, another cardiologist, right? And that's what he kept telling me. And then I talked to the staff. I was like, hey, look, this guy wants me to whatever. And then, you know, and they're like, oh, well, we have to talk to him and we'll call you back because that's just, well, you're not going to be going through different doctors. Or I forgot what that, shopping for doctors or whatever. I'm like, excuse me? First of all, I'm not. You know? You guys even said that I was having these issues. But yeah, I put on a thing. It was like, um, you know, like one of the people liked Cigar. The same fucking piece of shit that basically said after all these tests came back, and he said that I had the reason I was there is because of mental issues, and I talked to him about it, um, and then he got all pissed off because he knew what I was saying was true, and he yelled at a staff member saying, I never want this guy in this office again unless he has an appointment." And the guy previous to that one at the same location was saying, well, I'm going to prove, not only am I going to prove that you're not having palpitations, I'm going to prove you have mental issues. And to ignore all, like, don't take your blood pressure, ignore all signs. I'm like, okay, well, what if I'm having chest pains? That's what the science says. And they're like, just ignore them. They have to put that out there by law. I'm like, oh, wow. Right? But if you mention this to doctors or whatever, they'd get pissed off and they would fire you. Call the cops. They do it all the time. This is what I'm talking about. Um, this is what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't really remember, but it was like, well, you know, and now I guess he doesn't want a CT. He doesn't want to do a CT scan anymore. So I guess they don't want nothing to do with me, but yet they're not doing anything. Okay, so so I was referred by that dude to you, and then you didn't really want to do anything. Well, you wanted to do that one thing, and I was like, no, because of what I just said. And I was trying to do, like, say, maybe an MRI, and then apparently MRIs aren't that effective. Then I was like, an MRA. Nobody's ever got back to me on that one. He referred me to the electrophysiologist, and basically she said to do yoga and meditate, basically trying to say I had anxiety. When the previous reports on my stress test showed that I had minor ANT ischemia. I'm assuming that means heart block. But because it's mild, they try to act like it's nothing. It's minute. It's just like I've asked, like, am I having cardiomyopathy? Because there's no cure for cardiomyopathy, dude. If you catch it real early, you might have a chance. But if it's something that's progressed over the years, yeah, it's just like the neurology department. When I first, because it's an entire group, dude. It's like they have all these specialties. But like when I went up there and I was telling them that I was having all the cognitive issues and all this other shit, they were basically saying that I was crazy. They would literally like write all this shit that I was crazy, and whatever. Um, Even though the actual psychological test overall, like my performance, my brain performance, was moderate. Was like moderately to like moderate to moderately severe. My EEGs always came back very abnormal. I asked to get a PET scan for many years. Nobody seemed to want to do it. Um, and then they just basically said, we're not going to see you because, yeah. You should go see a psychologist. I think you have mental issues. And then eventually a new neurologist came in. She's supposed to be like one of the fancy ones, and then told me, I asked if I could get a PET scan. She said yes for the first time ever. And it showed that my temporal lobes were hardly any activity, my occipital lobes, hardly any activity, and all the other shit, you know? And I was like, wow, how come nothing was ever done? Like I said, they all support each other. It was almost like she didn't want to talk about that. Don't rat on your colleagues. It's just like when I talked to the neurologist, my last neurologist at that place. It's like, okay, well, what if we like get a PET scan or whatever, and you guys actually find out that I actually really had something wrong with me? Well, then we'll just have to take, we'll just start, um, we'll just have to, start over or whatever again. I'm like, wow. See, that's the thing. They think what they're doing is normal. Everything that I've said this kind of stuff to people, and they get exactly what I'm saying. They think it's fucked up. But all these fucking fascists calling the cops because I don't want to, because I'm fucking having PTSD. Not like fucking like I'm gonna like hurt anybody or myself, but I'm like, dude, I can't do this. You know. And then now these people, they don't want to help me. Even shit is coming back. Shit's coming back saying that I got issues, right? It's saying that I have issues. Multiple tests, all my tests, all the echocardiograms came back abnormal. All the stress tests came back abnormal. Everything came back abnormal. But they're trying to say, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, sir. If there was nothing wrong with me, I wouldn't be going to the fucking cardiologist. That's for damn sure. They okay, so it's mild, but you want to fucking do an angiogram in my heart, which by the way is still risky. You know, probably could be. Well, I don't know. Like probably the same. But just for the CT scan angiogram, that's a 5% chance of cancer right off the bat. And actually, I don't know which one said that. I don't know if it was the guy that I just talked to, um, the one that I was talking about, Dr. P, or Sagar dude, S. But I think it was P, and he was saying that was a 20%. Yeah, I think he's the one that said there was a 20% chance of getting cancer. And I remember that because I used to tell people about that. Right? I remember that. So why the fuck would I increase my chance of fucking cancer? You know? He said there was a 20% chance of cancer on getting that test. With all the radiation and everything that I've had. And actually, like I said, 50% of people, men, 1 in 2 people, will get cancer in their lifetime. Think about it. So, am I in the wrong? Because I would rather ask for an MRA, which, by the way, is still a radioactive isotope, but it's a lot less because the heart actually requires the most radiation out of any CT scan, out of any organ, more than the brain. And then you got the ones, where they're putting that gabalin or whatever the stuff. People are getting sick. One of the famous ones is Chuck Norris's wife. Eventually, she got sick because apparently it deposits in the brain. This has been known for a while, but people just ignore it. Because they think they're hot shit. But I'm like, this dude said I got a 20% chance of cancer if I do this. Most people that I talked to said, oh, hell no, I wouldn't do that. but they're trying to say blah blah woof woof, right? This is what I'm talking about, but they're fucking calling me crazy. Motherfucker, yeah, it's gonna make me go crazy when you're talking stupid shit like that. But I think if anybody should be psychologically evaluated, is these motherfuckers. Every person that I've talked about in this video. I mean, I'm having actual issues. And these motherfuckers, dude, once again, pathophysiology books. They don't use them. They may have used them when they were in medical school, but they don't use them. You know, I've literally seen shit in medical books, or I've seen procedures that they're supposed to do. And I'm just like thinking, and these fuckers are doing whatever else. You know, and I think about how you have these different people where they're supposed to be doing their jobs, but they're not. They're actually pretty scandalous. They're corrupt. They do what the fuck they want to do. And when then you call them out, they get all pissed off at you. You know? It happens all the time, dude. You know, like these places, like, you know, these government buildings. You know, they'll run scams. You know? They steal all kinds of money from people. Like officials, public officials. You know, and a lot of them don't get caught, but some of the ones that do, I don't know. It was some. I think one happened in Austin, Texas. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it happens all over the place, but yeah, I think it was a. I think it was like the tax place or DMV or it was something. But they all probably acted like they didn't do anything, right? And they're supposed to be professionals. But I don't know. I mean, it's a new day right now. Literally, it's like 12:02. I'm gonna get off this thing. Um, I don't know what to do. I guess try to get up in the morning and go to the later on, go to the hospital, get tested out. You know, hopefully I can get a couple bags of saline in me. Um, I mean, that's all I can think of. Just like when I go to that hospital as well. You know, they don't even put the shit like the actual weight. Like they just, I've noticed like blood pressure and shit. They guess the shit. I'm like, bitch, you didn't even take my blood pressure, dude. Like, how the hell do I have three blood pressures when the only blood pressure that I took was actually the beginning at triage? You know, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't at all. Um, but I don't know. I just know when my heart feels like it wants to get punched, or whatever. I don't know. I haven't eaten. I'm gonna go try to eat something. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I gotta get out this thing. So, all right, that's my 2 cents. But I think what I've said here is it's pretty fucked up. This is basically the kind of stuff that I'm having. I go to a hospital, and I'll mention the last thing, but like, I mean, there's been tons of times, but I remember in 2013, August 25th or whatever, I was sick, and that's when I was in Austin, about to take off to San Antonio, and I was really sick, dude. I was really sick. Like, I was having orthostatic hypotension, or my blood pressure was like 180 over 113. My pulse, I don't know what it was. That was at the hospital one time, but I went to 5 different hospitals, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, your pulse is so fast!" Like, I was sick, bro, and everybody pretty much said that I was crazy and I had mental issues and shit. Like, I was so sick, I lost 40 pounds like 5 months. I was bedridden. Um, I was bad, dude. I was staying with well, he's not a friend anymore, but I was staying with a friend, and I was sleeping on the floor because he didn't have a bed. I was like, it's better than being out in the streets. I remember he went to work like at 6 a.m. in the morning or whatever. He took off because where he worked was in another town. Um, but I remember like as soon as I woke up, like he closed the door and I woke up and all of a sudden I felt my heart, dude. It was fucking. I don't know how fast it was racing, dude. It was fucking fast. I don't know how fast it was. Let's just say it was so fast I was shaky. I got up. I I probably kind of like didn't like kind of like not ducking, but like crouching sort of, so there's like not like a lot of like stress. I turned on the fucking the bathtub. I turned on the water and the shower head and got all naked and got in the tub, and I was praying to God that nothing happened to me. I felt like I was gonna die. And I don't know how long I was in there for. I was in there for a while. But yeah, for like, you know, for a while, like I kept losing all kinds of weight. No matter what I ate, nothing ever helped me. It took at least 5 months before I could even get weight on me. My UAs, when I had UAs, my ketones were 80 plus, and it had the three on there, so that means large amounts of ketones. So the only ways you get those is if you're diabetic or if your body's literally in starvation mode. And large amounts would say a good amount of starvation was going on. But all the hospitals that I went to, nobody fucking took me seriously. Everybody blew me off. Even my TSH was like, I think 8. You know, I've never had it that high. Like I was having all kinds of stuff, and nobody cared. And I could go down the list and the list and the list and the list. There's so many things, so many experiences. I'll give you one more example. It's like when I first got sick and I was going to these hospitals and stuff, and I think I've mentioned it before, but the same hospital I'm going to tomorrow, hopefully. The guy's not there anymore, but or his little his little faggot dude. Oh, if I saw that guy, I'd beat the shit out of him. I don't remember what his name was. The last time I saw him, he was working for UHS. But I was having issues. I don't know what it was. I was having something. I gotta look at the notes. I got the notes, I think. But basically, they give me Fiderkin. The guy told me that it was a sedative or it wasn't a sedative, and he already had an IV in my line, and I get skittish in general. Like I don't want shit in my IV, bro. And I was like, you know what? Okay, whatever. And he gave it to me, and they both took off. I don't know if he like just, I don't know if like you're supposed to do like a slow one or like fast or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how he did it. I'm assuming he probably just did that and then took off. And then I'm assuming probably within a few minutes I started to feel weird. I'm like, whoa, like really fucking weird. Like I was really spaced out. I was very confused. I was practically I was practically crying. I think I was. I remember that I was not myself, and the way they were talking to me in general, like I felt like killing those motherfuckers. Like I felt like I wasn't there, and like I was literally crying, dude. And the doctor and the nurse, faggot male nurse, came back in, and they were yelling at me, saying that I was just fine before they left. Um, I went out of the room. That I was just looking for attention. There was nothing wrong with me. Blah 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 blah, and they discharged me and called the security on me and have had me thrown out of the hospital. And then they said if I don't get out the hospital grounds, they're gonna call the SAPD and have me arrested for trespassing when I was doped up on a drug they just gave me that I was allergic to. That's one of the reasons Finnegan is on that list now because of them. But yeah, I mean, actually, if I looked at my like a couple files, like a couple different doctors there, like you look up the Texas medical record thing, like if there's any reports, and hell, I think it was like three. I think it was. I don't know if it was. Well, that guy had a record too, but there was also one that was having sex with his patients and giving them drugs and all kinds of shit. And people seeing me, I'm like, wow. So you motherfuckers are saying I'm crazy and all this other shit. Okay, accountability, man. Like, hello. Like, if these people are having sex with their patients, giving them drugs, or doing weird shit, like, not. I mean, most of them I think were like HIPAA violations, but well, that's definitely a HIPAA violation, criminal as well. But and one actually lost his license. I don't know if it was that one or the other one, but that was one of them. And I'm just like, okay, these motherfuckers are saying I'm crazy, but they're the ones. You look up their fucking ID, their names, and it shows their license. thing and it shows if there's anything on there. But yeah, I mean, there's been so many things. I remember, when I was going to the UHS when I first got sick, that clinic, it was a different building. They demolished it. But I was going there, and these fucking stupid doctors and stuff, these broads were just saying that I had anxiety and there was nothing wrong with me and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know how long after the fact, but I actually got sepsis like real bad. I think I was talking about it earlier, but yeah, that's when I had sepsis back in 2009. So I guess I was seeing for a while, but yeah, I think it was like June 13th. Maybe it was like June 12th to the 15th or something, because I think I remember I was there for 3 days. So yeah, I almost died, dude. Like I was pretty bad. They gave me vancomycin and all kinds of stuff. Or when I first got sick, I think I went to my regular doctor. They didn't do nothing. They just gave me antibiotics and shit, and wasn't that. Um, and then I don't know. Eventually, I went to a urgent care clinic in my hometown, and bro, they didn't know what the hell they were doing. They were literally reading books from the library, blood pressure medication, or how to take blood pressure. Like it was, I was seeing them for 9 months. My blood pressure was like 150 over 119 pulse 132 for 2 months. It was insane, dude. My sugar was like 32. I was puking bile all the place. I was having all kinds of stuff, and they gave me blood pressure medications not because I had high blood pressure, but because I had anxiety. Um, yeah, and then like when my pulse like it was like 140 over I don't know what my Dalaslac was, maybe 90, I don't know, but it was like 140 at least. And my pulse was like it got down to like 50. So, and who knows? Maybe my blood pressure was high because my pulse was so low. Thinking about it, but they're like, "Oh, well, you control the medications and blah 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 blah." I'm like, and these are supposed to be doctors, right? Telling me, a patient, to control freaking medications that can kill me. Eventually, I just stopped taking it, dude. And then they fired me because they said that I was uh, abusing their resources or something. I got all the medical records. But yeah, I mean, there's tons. I mean, I've been on here almost an hour, and I've mentioned a few of them. I mean, there's like I said, there's tons, dude. I remember. I'll just say one more. There's so many that I can't really remember, but there's some I can. And like I remember, my a friend of mine died many years ago, and a few years ago, I I found where she was buried, but she didn't have the headstone. So I was looking everywhere, and I don't think I was in San Antonio at that time. I came to San Antonio, and I was looking everywhere, dude, for like 2 days or whatever. And I came back and I was looking, and it was hot. No shade, no nothing. And eventually, I found it because I had to go and talk to the people, and they pointed it out. But it was just there was nothing there. It was grass. It's like no wonder. But I remember at that point, my pulse was like racing. Like I felt it. Like I felt hot. My pulse was racing. I felt like I was gonna pass out. And I went to the Krista Santa Rosa. No, no, I've been there too, and they're assholes. Well, it's not the same anymore. It's different. Um, no, I went to the Nix hospital where I had the sepsis, but I went back because I was like, okay, well, these people, kind of, not really, kind of. I mean, I didn't die, so I guess they took care of me. I went back again, and I was telling them like, hey, look, I'm confused. I can't think straight. My pulse is racing. Blah blah blah. This fucking piece of shit, dude. I don't know what his name is. And I wish I had more time, dude. I think we all would say that, especially when it comes to like following stuff, because I don't remember his name. If I did, I would say something, bro. But I remember we talked for like 2 3 minutes, and he automatically said I had psychiatric issues, that I was nuts and everything. Um, no blood test, no nothing. Like I even took I don't know if I even got my blood pressure taken at that time. It was so quick. Like I got to the back of the room, of course. But within like a few minutes, the guy was yelling at me and shit, and basically told me to get the hell out. So these are like my experiences. There's tons. I can't remember all of them, but there's tons, dude. These are the kind like this is Texas, and you wonder why 1 in 4 people were getting doctors were getting sued back in the 70s. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them were just trying to make extra money, just that kind of fast money. But and see, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna protect the doctors, regardless if the doctors are fucking up or not, because there's not a lot. I think there's like 1 million doctors in the freaking country, dude. I mean, there's probably more healthcare workers than just like doctors. But yeah, I mean, just all kinds of different experiences. I don't remember everything because, like I said, I've been sick since October 2004. I don't really remember when I started to go to hospitals, but that was like a long time ago, dude. That was God, dude. I was 21 when I got sick, 5 months after my 21st birthday. Um, and I think when I came to San Antonio, that was in 2007. So I was probably like 24, 25, 23, 24. I don't remember. I think it was like June of 2007 that I came to San Antonio. I remember that because I was at the university one time because my mom kicked me out or whatever, but I was actually having real issues as well. Maybe that was another time. Well, no, I don't know. I think I don't know because I remember I don't know if my mom kicked me out that time or not because I went up at the Sam shelter really drug infested like real bad. It was yeah. But yeah, because I remember I came in. Well, I don't know because I used to take the ambulance into San Antonio a lot, but I remember because that's the time that's I think that's the day. It may have been. I think I don't know, but because I was having like shortness of breath and my pulse would drop. Funny thing is the same people, like the same person, because I actually got admitted, the same person that actually had he was having the same issues that I was, but I wasn't treated the same. They basically just dismissed me and said they dismissed me to the point that I was discharged. Well, you can stay here if you want, but I was like, wow, I should have just stayed there, bro. But at that time, I didn't have insurance at all. Not that I've really paid, but I paid. It's really screwed my insurance, my credit up. But when I was there, we were all talking. I was chilling with the dude and whatever, and he shared his peach cobbler. He shared his peach cobbler with me, and I ate it. And all of a sudden, I was like choking and stuff, and I was trying to get help, and nobody would help me. I was having like really like all these like, whoa, what the hell's going on? Um, and I went outside and bleh, and had like this freaking fat piece of peach cobbler. Like sometimes you eat food and you think you really got it, and no, I didn't get it at all. So I was choking on I was choking on peach cobbler, man, and they didn't do anything. But yeah, I don't know. And then God, dude, I wish I had this kind of stuff back in 2004. I would have fucking been doing all this stuff. It would have been nice to like have the journey, you know, have the journey recorded. That would be nice. I would love that. Especially if I was able to whatever. But I mean, I've had so many experiences, man. Like it's probably why I can't even really think anymore because I've dealt with so many fucking people, dude. So many hospitals, so many doctors, shitload of doctors. Not a lot of PCPs, but a shitload of doctors I've seen in general. So many different people, so many clinics, so many just everything, dude. Um, I've had doctors fucking literally yell at me, like screaming at me, like get out of this office. You know, you're just looking for blah 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 blah. And um, no, I was actually trying to sue a chiropractor because he fucked my shit up. Um, and I had evidence that actually showed he screwed up, but I never really did anything, and you know, whatever. I don't know if you can sue chiropractors easier than you can regular doctors, but it was crazy, man. But anyways, like I said, I'm gonna get off this thing. I'm gonna try to go eat. So I think it's like 12:20 right now. Um, but yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna really read or watch this. But I mean, if you do, it'd be nice if you can share your experiences. I know not everybody is like this. I know a lot of experiences, and a lot of people think they're having good experiences, but they don't really realize that they're brainwashed, that they're conditioned, to take pills. Like, doc, give me a pill, I'll be fine. And it's not easy for everybody. Not everybody can do that. I mean, if that was the truth, dude, I would just be taking pills all my life. You know, and just not say anything. But I don't know. I've been, I've been to so many places, dude. I may have not been over the world or over the country, but I've been to so many fucking doctors' offices, hospitals, clinics, you know, from in multiple towns, uh, other states. Well, well, Alabama, but yeah. Um, I've had so many like that kind of be cool. Like if I could put like my top hits. Yeah, that'd be cool. It's crazy. I was just looking at myself on this thing, and it just looked weird for a second. And then I tried to see if my book was here, and my book's not here. And it's been 14 days, and I paid at least 14, 15 bucks. It was probiotics for dummies. They said it was going to be here 1 to 2 days, and then it said 14 days, and I'm like, whoa, where the fuck is my book, dude? You know. So I guess I'm not gonna have it for a while. So I don't know. I think that if they send it late and my bill starts continuing for the library because it's the library's book, I have to put $5 on that and replace it. That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna look at my fucking thing today, my money. I want to do well. I don't know. My money might be already on there. I don't know because it's already a new day. I mean, it usually does around 3 o'clock in the morning, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to chill, dude. I don't know anymore. I can't sing. But yeah, that's pretty much been my couple days. Outside of that, I don't know what the hell I've been doing. I really don't. My mind is fried. I mean, you could tell somebody, you could literally do tests and it tells that your brain is fucked up. But, you'll have people like, oh, well, you just have anxiety. I don't believe it. Seriously. That's what, that's what my PCP said. That, well, the endocrinologist said that she didn't believe that I had uh, thyroid issues or Hashimoto's. Even the TPO antibodies, the thioglobulin antibodies, those are the ones that if you have those, it proves that you have it. You know, even the brain that I was talking about, the thingamajig Bob. whatchamacallit, um, the PET scan showed, they said, my neurologist said it was autoimmune Hashimoto's encephalopathy. It's weird because people are like, oh, well, that's rare, for the Hashimoto's. No, Hashimoto's is not rare. A lot of people have Hashimoto's, but it's not treated the way it should be treated. What's usually treated is the TSH levels, the thyroid hormones and stuff. And that's not even treated properly. That's why a lot of people, usually the thyroid is burnt out. That's why a lot of them, they get radiation, or they literally cut the thyroid out so they don't get thyroid cancer. The thing is, just like breast cancer, it doesn't matter if you cut your breast off. There's still tissue cells, and you can still get cancer. Now, I'm sure if I said this to a doctor or whatever, they're like, "Ooh, that's not true." I'm like, oh my god, dude, did you guys fucking felt? Well, I don't know. Like, I swear they're giving a pass. Is that a moon? Oh, the moon is over the tree, bro. Or kind of like, I don't know. I just saw the moon. It's cool looking. Oh, there's this freaking chick that I want to bang, but I hear she's fucking crazy as shit. And she a hoe, and I just don't really. No, I ain't gonna deal with that. I don't need a hoe in my life. I need a woman. She 30. She 38, but she looked like 28, young. Oh yeah. I don't think you can see it, but oh no, you can't see it. Oh, my pants are still wet, dude. I mean, they're dry for the most part, but yeah, you can't see my pants, but all right, cool. I'm out. Cool. Out. All right, laters. Just leave a comment, whatever. Tell me your thoughts. All right, thanks. Do, 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 do.